Hi, everyone. I was going to come out here and give you some yargs and ahoys and a vast G Mateys, but I had a conversation with my sister about 15 minutes ago, and it's come to my realization that not only is the yo ho, a pirate's life for me song a fabrication of Disney, but that the entire pirate mythos might be a facade. This is the first that I'm hearing about it. First, dinosaurs don't have scales. Now, Vikings don't wear horns. Now, pirates don't have friggin' parrots on their shoulders and eye patches. And I'll be honest, I'm just a little disheartened by the whole thing. I didn't want to come out here and talk about pirates. I was gung ho. I was ready, folks. But then, what can I say? Just broke my heart a little bit right here. So let's see who else can bring us some lies, tell us some more tales. Ralph, how you doing today?
What an opening.
Right? I was devastated.
What a downer. Thanks, Noah.
I figured
you learned some fabrication from someone. I don't know what you're talking about. Of course, pirates are real. Do you not see Johnny Depp behind me?
That's what I'm saying. Like, look, there were pirates. I don't think anyone can argue that there were pirates. There are pirates.
There's pirates. They might, not everybody had an eye patch, I'm sure.
It'd be a lot cooler if they did.
But I mean, let's get real. Let's be serious. This is a important thing we're doing. Pirates of the Caribbean or the Caribbean.
Which do you prefer? Two. Are you a Caribbean or Caribbean?
Let's do this. I'm ready. I'm ready to roll. I'm ready to talk pirates.
All right. Talking pirates.
Peg legs.
Peg legs. Walking the planks. Black sails. Black flags.
Yeah.
Henry Rollins.
I'm ready.
All right. Let's bring on, speaking of Black Flag and Henry Rollins, I tell you what, I see Brian's got some weaponage there. Brian, how you doing there?
Yeah. There's no pirates. What?
That's what I'm saying.
Talking about?
I don't even know what he's
saying.
There
are pirates. Now you might be throwing the layman's term for what is known as privateers.
Ooh.
That's what they were. They were privateers. Men who didn't want to abide by the taxation of the queen and the king and all that bullshit. We had a war here in this country about that too,
Yeah.
We've done a couple of crates of tea somewhere.
Brian's starting to bring back my
I'm telling you
a little bit. Now I'm starting to get
the reason I know this is because there's been a lot of privateers who are Irishmen. So to be honest,
and
it's definitely in the blood.
Venture to guess O'Halloran is not an Italian last name.
No, it is definitely not a Japanese. It's not an Italian. It's not an African. It's not, North Polian. But man, privateers were some serious shit. They ran the whole Caribbean trade. And to be honest with you, they were mostly against the slave trade.
Even cooler.
When you were a privateer. So, the pirates that you see Disney pushing forth maybe a little creative license, but there's a really great documentary on Netflix about them.
No, are you upset that this is not a true story? Is that what's going on?
It's not that I'm upset it's a true story.
I don't understand why you're so sad. Like this, there's ghosts. It's a ghost.
I've been singing Yo Ho, a pirate's life for me for years, and it's my fault. I didn't fact check. I was just under the impression that that's what all of the seafaring, adventurers sung.
Ralph, don't tell them that lightsabers aren't real either.
Wait, what?
No, nothing. Nothing.
All right.
Fine.
Well,
we should bring on more guests.
Let's bring on more guests. Bringing on someone whose last name is far from Italian, Marilyn Ghigliotti. How are you doing today?
I am good. It shows that someone listens during their history class. That's Brian.
That's what I'm saying.
Impressive.
But my last name is Italian, although parents are from Puerto Rico, but I also did the ancestry thing, and French is on the top of the list as far as where ancestry is from. Italian is, I think, third or fourth.
There you go.
Wow.
I say you can take
Voulez-vous coucher en le soir?
Yeah, one of these days when I actually have the time to sit down and really like dive deep, I'll figure it all out.
All right. Well, bringing on our next guest, her last name has its lineage in the sky. I'm talking, of course, about Krystle Starr.
Hello! And yes, pirates are totally real, Noah.
All right.
Not only were they real in the past, I was raised in Antigua, which is in the heart of the Caribbean, and that is where a lot of this trade comes from. And not only did they have parrots, they had monkeys and other animals, and they had a lot of these. They might not have been so Disney-fied, but these were a lot of things that they had in the trade, and they actually were for slavery and against slavery, depending on what pirate you're talking about. A lot of the crews from pirates were made up of slaves. When they would capture slave ships, they would take them on, and they would become their pirates as well. And Irish pirates, that is also a real thing. Grace O'Malley was a female pirateer, and she was one of the most famous pirates of her time, and she was of our descent.
This is such an emotional roller coaster. The last 30 minutes have had highs and lows, and I don't know what I'm going to give Pirates in terms of a score, but I'm definitely giving the intro to this episode a 5 out of 5. You guys have been giving me some very educational.
Talk Noah off the pirate ledge.
Good.
This is a pirate history show.
I mean, I would rather talk about that than the movie, but you're talking about the movie.
Wow.
No, I like the movie. I love the movie, but the history of pirateering is so cool. So
absolutely.
And the movie does take a lot from that. So we can talk about what is kind of real and what is kind of fake from the movie.
Yeah.
Very anxiously awaiting in the sidelines is another guest of ours who has some things to say, I'm sure. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Favorite son. Son, how you doing?
What's up, guys?
Our favorite son.
I just found out too that the entire Zenescope mythos is entirely fabricated as well, and I'm really disappointed about that, you guys.
What?
There's Ralph Tedesco is a creation of the Zenescope Corporation.
I'm an AI. No one's ever seen me in person. It's weird.
It's weird. He's like Coca-Cola, created Santa Claus. Zenescope.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
There's my pirate. He's turning his back to y'all.
Oh, you have a pirate.
I see that.
We have a full house tonight. We have Casey too.
I don't know. Casey, can you fit in?
Yeah, I guess I can. Right in here. Hello, everyone.
We just saw Casey's dad was giving us pirate facts. Thank you, Casey's dad.
Thank you, Casey's dad.
Here for the pirate fact. So
now we've got
welcome.
The crew that sacked the Spanish Main. Zenescope Movie Club.
I'll be the first to admit I've seen this movie once and I didn't remember much. And I haven't seen any of the sequels.
What?
What about everybody else?
First time. Never seen any of them. First time.
Are you serious, Brian?
Same.
What?
I'm serious. Relax. Pump the brakes. It's all good.
I'm very excited.
Casey, this is not like an old one. Like, you could have seen this.
I know. Well, I don't know if I should admit this, but I wasn't allowed to watch this as a child.
Wow.
Yeah, I had
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter was fine, actually. But I think honestly, a lot of the Johnny Depp movies got like lumped together as like just no's. So I hadn't seen like a lot of Johnny Depp movies for a while. So I had seen parts of this definitely at like my friends' sleepovers or whatever, but I don't think I know for a fact I haven't sat down and watched the full a 2.5-hour movie, which I was not prepared for.
It's a long movie.
Yeah, I was really surprised.
Well, I
Anybody
think
else?
it was the writers threw everything out on the board in case it bombed horribly and they weren't going to do any of the sequels. So we're like, well, at least let's do this part.
Yeah.
It had a huge budget.
I have some thoughts on that, but we can continue. Who else have seen this has anybody seen this multiple times? I'm assuming Krystle.
I don't recall how many times I may have seen it, but yes, I have seen it at least more than 2. And I've seen the sequels. And honestly, I've seen them because, well, I like ride and I like Disney and all that kind of stuff. So it was interesting to see how, when I first saw it, how they tied everything together. And someone who loves Disney and loves the movies, and it's like to see how they tie it in. It's like, oh, look, it's this from the ride. And so that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
it is weird that they made a movie out of a ride. I mean, I get it. They made Race to Witch Mountain and then a whole bunch of other rides as well. I mean, I'm still waiting for Monorail, the Monorail movie.
Well, actually, they redid the ride after the release of this movie as well, which is pretty cool. And Johnny Depp himself decided to be a stand-in. And a lot of people didn't even realize that he was his real self. Even when he started getting up. So he was actually kind of upset that they didn't notice. And so he started doing like even crazier things. But what's really nice is that the first movie in particular has so many callbacks to the original ride before they changed it, like the dog with the keys. I think that was like my personal favorite. But after this movie was released, they used to have a lot of men chasing women around. And yes, yay! And they actually took it out of the ride because they felt like it was too sexist.
Yeah, I think it was called plundering and raping.
Yes.
I think that's what we used to call it back in the day. And they were like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't have that on a children's ride.
Right.
Dial it down a little bit there.
And Noah, that's a historical fact what Brian just said.
Oh yes, I believe of the pirate mythos. I'm slowly sliding back.
It also goes for Vikings as well. I think the Romans, pretty much any conquering force did that.
Good to know. And it's interesting that I'm ready to just jump right into the ride comparisons because that seems to be where we're at. But I had a really fun time going through all of the original concept art. So the ride came out in like 1967, relatively unchanged until the 90s when they said, okay, the pillaging, the plundering, we'll dial that down a little bit. Then the movie came out. They said, holy crap, we got a hit. This is a blast off. They shut down the ride. I remember because I went to Disney World in like 2005 or 2006 and I couldn't ride the ride because they were doing renovations. But after the renovations were done, now it's much more in tune with the movie. But some other cute little, first off, I love the concept art. I forget the name of the artist already, and I apologize. But when we first meet Gibbs, he's in a little bit of a, similar situation there. And I also
extra bucket of water dumped on him because of the smell.
That is not when we first meet Gibbs, though.
Oh, darn! No. Oh, son, you got me.
I've seen this movie 100 times. Okay.
Hey!
Tell our audience, son, when are we first introduced to Gibbs?
At the very beginning, when what's his face gets, taken.
William Turner.
Taken from he was on the ship when Elizabeth was young.
Correct.
Right.
With, again, right off the bat, the fact that Yo Ho, Yo Ho is a Disney song, and that's how the movie opens up. Boom, ride comparison. I don't know if this is so much of a ride comparison, but I do like my two favorite characters, I think, look very similar to animatronics that could be found on the ride.
They're great.
They do.
I love them.
They definitely had the best stuff.
Yeah. They were the Jay and Silent Bob of
yes. Yeah, that's a really good comparison.
And I think they've been carried through all the movies in the franchise, right?
Yeah, which I didn't even know that they did. 5?
I might
Yeah,
have seen the last one.
I didn't know they did 5 either, because when I was looking up the movie to watch, I was like, what the fuck? Which one is it?
Yeah.
Figure out the year. I'm sorry we didn't say it was this particular. I hope nobody watched my sequels. I didn't think about that till later.
Well, this is be safe.
I'm sure
this is the youngest movie we've watched, and I think the biggest budgeted movie we've ever watched.
Yes. It's definitely
We're moving up, people. We're moving on up, people. Eventually, we'll get to a movie you might have seen when you were actually
next year. We already did next year's movies, and people are going to be very excited.
Well, it's
very excited.
This movie is almost 20 years old now, which I think is kind of crazy to think about.
That is weird. That it's almost 20 years old.
More than that, right? What year did this
come out? And the effects were good.
2006, 2000.
The effects
2003. It's a 2003 movie.
2003. Oh my
It was also Gore. Gore Verbinski, is that the last name?
Correct.
Who almost directed one of our movies if we ever got it made, Monster Hunter Survival Guide, with Dwayne Johnson. But alas, did not happen. Dwayne went on to do Rampage instead.
What?
So, yes. Sad news for Zenescope.
We'll save that movie
Good
for
news
another
for Dwayne?
discussion.
No, not so much.
I remember though because speaking, this came out in 2003. Casey, you were saying that you weren't allowed to see it. I remember being too scared to see it because they had this clip in the trailer.
Wow, spooky.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, there's no way I'm gonna go see that. That's way too scary.
So
And
let's
then,
talk about the CGI.
I thought it was good.
Did it hold
I
up?
rewatched it and I was seriously impressed with the age of this film.
I think that's the year that the CGI started to look
good
decent enough where you wouldn't be completely thrown off. Because I've watched a few movies from the early 2000s now. I just watched Constantine again, and which should have been I think it's on next year's list. Maybe.
And by the way, Christopher Milano is right. We did watch Underworld same year as this. So, yes, it's similar to Underworld.
But that CGI was terrible.
I thought the Underworld wasn't as good.
Disney.
This was a bigger budget than Underworld.
Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. It's
Constantine's CGI was really good too, I thought, for 2004, 5. So maybe that was the year things started to look a little bit more realistic.
Yeah, I think that's when actors wore the dots and the motion capture suits, and I thought it was really good, especially the ship-to-ship battles where they're interacting in and out of the moonlight. It was, I thought it was really, really good.
So good.
They originally wanted to get and shoot all those kind of water scenes where they shot Titanic, but it had already been taken by somebody else. It was in the details there.
What was our favorite line? Some ex-grave mistake asks.
Oh man.
Does anybody have a favorite line?
I do. And it's basically when the Commodore says, it's like, you're the worst pirate that I've ever heard of. And he's like, but you've heard of me. So.
Right. That is a great line.
I don't have my notes with me because I'm really great, but there's a part where they were talking to Orlando Bloom was talking to Johnny Depp, and he was like, you're the craziest pirate or something about that. And Johnny Depp replies like, but that's, it's I'm either brilliant or mad, and a lot of the times they often coexist or something.
Yeah.
That's not the exact line, but that line.
Yeah.
You were there.
There's so many though. There really are so many.
There's a lot of lines. I don't remember any though off the top. It's not like a very quotable movie for me.
That's the one that kind of just really stuck out for me. Like throughout the whole thing.
And what does he say at the very end of the movie? Which there was the memes of his trial, and he's like, and Jack Sparrow lives to see another day or something.
Well, the last line I know he's like, "Drink up me hearties, yo ho." But he also has a line where he says, "Bring me the horizon," which I think is pretty cool.
Bring me the horizon.
My favorite line was when she was doing the smoke signal out of the cartons of rum, and he's like, "But why did you get rid of the rum?"
But then when it's like when he sees the ship and he's like, oh, she's never gonna, how did he say it? She'll be hard to live with or something like that. But it's like basically it's like she got me. She totally got me over the barrel.
My favorite exchange was from these two guys, and the one with the fake eye. They're talking, and the one guy says, like, when we get rich and famous, we'll get you a real proper glass eye. And the other guy is
itches.
Yeah, he's like, oh, this one splinters something awful.
I can listen to Noah redo this whole entire movie.
I'm
thinking Noah might have enjoyed it.
I think it's a lot of pirates in this.
Good accent, Noah. We got to get you in something.
Well, get me in some more Zenescope pirate movie.
We will.
So, son, you said that you've seen this movie 1,000 times. What's your favorite? Almost 1,000. 998.
Her favorite is
Johnny. Almost there. You gotta have goals, right? You gotta have goals. I think that it would be when like Barbossa pretends he's stupid at the towards the beginning, and but then he like kind of wows her with like just his vocabulary and just says like, I am disinclined to acquiesce to your request.
Mm-hmm. That's perfect. Yeah. And then she's like, no.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny how quickly these pirates became contract lawyers like that.
Yeah.
They were like, sorry, you did not stipulate such a request. The deal is off. I can see why Johnny was so great on the stand.
Hey-o.
Yep, I'll be the first. Ding ding. I was the first to mention he was recently in the news. I said it. Yep.
I said it first.
What was he in the news for? I didn't even know this.
Pooping the bed, Ralph.
Contract negotiations. I don't know.
That's weird.
We're still bombarded by those reels. It's like, can we just give it a rest?
Yeah.
Please. So, Brian, you said this was your first time ever seeing it. Was there a reason you just didn't see it before, or was this just kind of something that never happened?
I don't know. Just I was doing my laundry that day. It was just something that I was like, ooh, a movie based on a ride at a big corporate theme park. That's something I want to see. I mean, you make rides after a great movie, like the Star Wars ride or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, you don't make a ride and go like, what if we did a movie called Tilt-A-Whirl? Yeah.
Well, they did that with Battleship, and
I was gonna say that battle. Oof, that was a stretch. That came right after. What was that right after? Because it was another game to movie adaptation.
And that was, I think, Rihanna's debut into the movie industry.
Oh, it was right.
Not
after
one giant egg. One giant egg went into the ship.
It was Twister.
Twister.
They did a movie based on the game.
No.
Yep.
Wrong Twister.
Bill Pullman. Bill Paxton.
Wrong Twister. You're thinking Transformers, Hasbro toy line. Then Hasbro says, "What else we got?" Battle.
See, I blame the really great game movie, Clue.
I've actually never seen the movie.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah,
that should be one on the list.
That was actually really good.
You said, "Oh my God, really?" When you didn't see Pirates.
Yeah. Oh my God, really?
That was my thought.
Really? A Jerry Bruckheimer film that things explode. Oh my God, I missed one of those. 4,000 of those films. This was like what was it? Whatever Bruckheimer film, but on the sea.
So what are we like? Looking back at Johnny Depp, everybody was very, very enamored with his acting choices in these roles like this, and I was fine with it. But it was very hammy, and to me it was I don't know if it was that brilliant of a character. It was fine. He was fine. He has charm, but was it worthy of all the accolades Johnny Depp would get for this, or Willy Wonka, or what he does?
I mean, it was well known that he said that he kind of based his portrayal as if Keith Richards was a pirate kind of thing, but he couldn't be as mumbly as Keith Richards really is in life, because Keith Richards is so mumbly that you're like, whoa, what was that, mate? You can't get it. But he got the look, and then he just did like, I'm always drunk, man.
Right.
I don't know. I think he's got those facial expressions that just really pop, and the certain like his expressions can really steal the scene and totally captivate the entire like punchline of a lot of the things. And I think that mixed with I think just people's love for pirates and Johnny Depp, especially like after Fear and Loathing, like I feel like this was just something that people were like really excited about, and I think it aged well. Well, and I think the him giving it the portrayal that he did versus actually kind of being this swashbuckling, handsome pirate, I think it lent to the character because I think people thought that it's like he wasn't all that smart, but he was actually very smart. But he also was a manipulator, but was someone who, if he saw something wrong being done, he's like, I'm going to have to go in there because it's not right, kind of a thing. So there were a lot of sides to that character. Yeah, and I found the line which goes to what you were saying: madness or brilliance. Remarkable how often those coincide. So I think that is kind of like the essence of his character. Just, is he super crazy or is he super brilliant?
Exactly.
This is a good question. What other actor could we see playing Jack Sparrow?
Keith Richards.
Well, funny enough, I did look at the
who they cast,
the details. Yeah, and no. Michael Keaton, Jim Carrey, Christopher Walken, Robert De Niro were up for
Jim Carrey, maybe.
Those roles.
That's what I was thinking. That's the only name I can think of.
I feel like if you had
Robert De Niro, did you say Robert De Niro? That would be.
I don't know. I could have seen back in 2003 Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
I mean, if his persona in the very first,
before he went on his first anti-Semitic rant, was that?
Yeah. We're going closeted.
Closeted.
This is pre-voice message.
This is pre-anti-Semite.
I would love to have seen Christopher Walken, like a few clips of that. Not the whole movie, but I
would watch it with Christopher Walken.
So you have Christopher Walken as doesn't he play Captain Hook? Like they did some like made-for-TV musical Peter Pan adaptation. Yeah. So you have, and interestingly enough, because I think I saw on when the Robert De Niro, bye Ralph, the Robert De Niro thing, I guess like he played another Peter Pan adaptation where he was like a pirate or a hook or something. So all of these folks have had some type of pirate acting in their catalog, but I don't think
you could have even gone the more comedic route and had even a Robin Williams play this role.
Well,
okay, Robin Williams.
I can see that as a hook, but
right.
Well, with Robin Williams was considered for. Hold on, I have it somewhere. I think he was considered for something. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Steven Spielberg had the script and wanted to do with Bill Murray, Steve Martin, Robin Williams as Jack. That was in the 90s.
Robin Williams could have pulled that off.
Robin Williams for sure. Not sure about Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he could have been Barbosa. So Barbosa.
Yeah, I feel like Jim
Barbarella.
Carrey not been it. It would have changed the whole tone.
It would have been Jim Carrey. Like I think I can separate Jack Sparrow from what's his face?
Johnny Depp.
Thank you. But I don't think I could separate Jim Carrey.
So could you see like a Momoa doing this today?
No. I don't think
Momoa.
I would watch it.
I could
even
see
you would get
the ladies would be chiming in with that one.
He does have charisma. He's got the humor down. He's got the I mean, I don't think it would be that.
I feel like Mimosa though he's just too fit and
Yeah.
muscular
That's
to
true.
fit that role.
I think so too. I think Johnny Depp is like got that kind of weaselly body.
You know who would be good? You know who would have been good for him right now? It would be Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling could do anything. I'm gonna watch everything.
Yeah.
I think Ryan Gosling would do a good job. I really do.
Barbie.
I think he's got. I think Krystle's going with Ryan Gosling. I just think he's a good. He's just a good. He's got that natural tongue-in-cheek
He's got
charm.
some good slapstick too. If you've ever seen The Nice Guys,
I think
he has
Gosling can do it.
Yeah.
All right, so on to Keira Knightley.
Oh yes,
She's so beautiful.
Yeah, she looks good in this movie. I'll give her that.
We watched this with my.
She was only 19.
Wow.
Oh, really?
I kept
I didn't
thinking
realize
about
that.
how much she looked like
She's
Padme.
19.
And then I realized she's one of Padme's girls in
Yes.
The Menace. And I was
Yes.
like, oh, what? So,
Yeah.
God, she's just so perfect. Like,
Michael does not like my Gosling suggestion.
no.
sorry, Mr. Brennan.
No,
So,
Fasha.
He's like,
Interestingly-
Canadians can't be pirates.
Bradley Cooper over. Come on. Casey.
The other
Talk to you,
celebrities that were up for Elizabeth were Amanda Bynes, Jessica Alba, and Jamie Alexander. I don't know who that is.
Wow, Amanda
Just the
Bynes.
Amanda Bynes.
No, right?
No, thank you.
And Lindsay Lohan
Alba's
was up
pretty
there.
hot.
But you
Well,
you
I
think
say
about it though. This was 23 years ago.
I wish they
No,
would've gotten
that
Lindsay
is a
Lohan.
very 2003 cast. Lindsay Lohan, Amanda Bynes. You
And-
might as well
or-
throw Zac Efron in there.
and JoJo.
Yeah, there you go. JoJo.
I think JoJo is relatively.
JoJo should have been up for that role.
Yeah, no, Keira Knightley was just absolutely stunning. I thought she stole every scene that she was in. She was just so poised and so perfect for this film. I just fell in love with her all
She
over
was
again.
badass too. Like she
Yeah.
was taking care of
Very
herself, no
Oh, yeah.
problem.
Mhm.
Eventually.
Eventually.
She got there.
What about Katy Perry's husband?
Orlando Bloom.
John Mayer.
Oh.
Orlando Bloom.
I loved him.
I didn't realize he married Katy Perry. Are they still together?
Yeah, they have two.
Speaking of which, her ex-husband could have played Jack Sparrow. Now that I think about it.
I don't know.
Brand-
yeah.
Russell Brand-
Yeah.
Russell Brand could have done it.
Russell Brand. Oh,
I can see that.
Yeah, I could see Russell Brand do this.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
that's fair.
I can
Um,
see
So
it,
do you
but I
wanna
don't
know-
like it.
Do you want to know who else was up for Will Turner?
Yes.
All right, so Jude Law, Ewan McGregor, Tobey Maguire, Ben Payton, Christopher Masterson, Christian Bale,
Wait, Ben Payton?
and
I don't know.
when casting was down to Orlando Bloom and Heath Ledger.
Oh,
Wow.
I could see-
Wow.
okay, that makes sense.
I just feel like the cast they chose was so perfect. Again, because we've seen the
I agree.
movie so many times.
Yeah.
So hard to switch it.
But also very
some movies out there.
2000s. Yeah, Tobey
Yeah.
Maguire and Ewan McGregor in there too.
I think Tobey Maguire would have thrown it off for me.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
Tobey Maguire's
Yeah.
not. That doesn't work.
I think Orlando Bloom just like, and because so I couldn't remember if he had done this or The Hobbit first or Lord of the Rings, whichever one.
He actually did The Hobbit first.
Okay.
And when this was coming out, I don't think either of them were out yet, but it was like once I think the other one came out, they kind of capitalized that, as well as for Keira Knightley.
And then he was
having
just
been in.
like the heartthrob of like the next 5-10 years.
Mhm,
It felt like he was just so awesome.
Do you have Casey, do you have the pillow in the office?
What pillow?
You're telling me you never took notice to the Orlando Bloom pillow that's in our conference room?
What?
There is a purple Orlando Bloom pillow in our conference room on the couch next to the meeting table.
It's shoved underneath Noah's desk at the moment.
You're great. You might not be able to. You gotta get the key to unlock the drawer first. But it's
Should
in
I
there
like
long
go
enough.
get it or?
No, you don't have to.
Don't touch it. Don't.
Actually, yes, no.
Well,
So-
you learn something new every
So-
day.
Does anybody have a favorite scene in the movie that we should cover?
I have
I mean,
so
that
many.
ship to ship battle is so crazy.
What's that, Brian?
The ship-to-ship battle was really that was the highlight for me.
Yeah.
When they were throwing utensils and the cannons and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think some of the battle scenes just were a little long. I hate to say that, but I was just like, okay, let's
see. I normally feel
wrap this
that in
up.
a lot of movies, but this one, because they've incorporated like comedy with the battle, it made it seem like really easy for me to watch. Because that's what kind of
I mean, they did it in a fun
films lately. I'm just like, you know.
See, I'm the opposite way. Like, I'll watch Braveheart battle scenes like all day long, but like, or Gladiator, but like something like this, I'd be like, I'm like, okay, I get it. We're having fun. Everybody's doing goofy shit. Let's do it.
Well, you have to think about the demographic. Like, you are not the target audience for this.
Probably not.
So, I mean, like, I feel like everyone's the target audience for Disney films, but I feel like they do. This one was more geared towards kind of like kids, young adults.
That makes a lot of sense, Krystle.
Oh, you never believe.
And you are saying I was not a young adult when this came out. Also, very fucking funny.
It never felt there were no scenes in any part of the film that felt so high stakes. Like there was never anything like, oh my God, they're gonna die, or there was never like, oh my God, they're totally making the wrong decision. Like I never felt.
When she faints, that's like one of my favorite scenes ever. I guess like I've been a cosplayer for so long that like wearing those corsets really do hurt. And if you tie them too tight, you really can pass out from them.
But
so
Krystle was very worried when she fell off the thing.
Like she literally just proposed to her and she just falls. And he just keeps going. And I'm like,
but it's like, who proposes to someone while they're looking out amongst, not her, but everything else.
Wrong guy.
Somebody who's self-absorbed.
Yes. So I just remember that scene like really, really well. And yeah, I think that scene, I remember the first time watching it, I was just like, oh my gosh. So that was a high stakes scene for me.
High stakes. Krystle was so nervous she was really dead.
Yeah.
I mean,
don't say yes. Don't say yes. Don't say yes.
Any other favorite scenes? Any other? Oh, how about least? Oh, yes, Casey.
Oh, I liked just Johnny Depp's intro when he's walking onto the plank and while his ship is sinking. Like that's iconic. I loved it.
That's a great introduction too.
And then and then when he's like, state your name and purpose, he's like, what if I give you 3 coins? He's like, all right, and then he just takes the money.
And by the way, Noah, that was a real pirate thing to do.
I believe it. Although I will say I gotta be I guess I don't have to be the buzzkill, but the whole one of my favorite scenes growing up was them going underneath the boat. This is actually from Mythbusters though, because
I remember that episode.
They did a whole episode on pirates. It was again some stuff.
Okay, me watching that, I was thinking to myself, and even after watching it so many times, and it may have come to mind at that time as well, it's like, I know that it's upside down, but wouldn't it still kind of float to some degree?
Yeah, that was their whole kind of argument was, and I'm not going to give this, I'm not going to attempt to do the science terms, but just the fact that there was so much air in there and the weight and then their bodies, every time they tried to go down, they would just keep floating back up to the top. But I will say that in the context of the movie, I was able to suspend my disbelief.
The word you were looking for was buoyancy. Buoyancy. I'm sorry. You could try next time on Guess the Scientific Term for Principles.
I was waiting for the bell.
Was there any anything you guys watched and were like eye roll worthy? Yes.
Okay, there is a big inconsistency, and maybe somebody here has the answer to this. But how do we find out why Gibbs becomes a pirate? We never find out, do we? Because he's on the side of what are they like the British or whatever colonials, and then he becomes a pirate, but there's no explanation.
I can tell you the historical reason. They did not pay the colonial mariners much money at all. In fact, sometimes they would do 3 to 4 years worth of work and then they would get zero payment for them. So I think back in the day, if you could get on a pirate ship, then you would get paid probably more than anything that the crown would give you at the time. That's a historical fact. I don't know about the Disney one.
Yarr, get to the crown.
I would like to see Gibbs.
I'll accept that.
I think Gibbs' story would have added another half hour to the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's true.
Or he was caught for buggery with the pigs. Who knows?
Buggery. That was conveniently left out of the Disney ride.
When they dropped the anchor and turned the ship, didn't seem too plausible, says somebody in the comments.
Hello. She falls in the water. A magic coin calls a ghost ship to come find the magic coin. Hello. Can we establish that first? And everything falls into place.
I thought that was believable. When he drank the liquor, when it went through his body, I thought that was very believable.
That was pretty cool.
And back to Michael's point, like when you're canoeing, that's how you turn is you drop an anchor and your boat literally spins around. So
yeah,
you have maybe
I can see it.
They do drop the anchor and then he does tell them to turn the sails. So if you have a dropped anchor with the sails, yes, I could see a ship doing that.
And by the way, the ship also had torn sails. Like this, there couldn't be any more holes in the ghost ship sails. So the Black Pearl, come on.
And rotworm would have eaten that whole ship because back then ships couldn't stay up for more than a year without being completely eaten by rotworm.
Isn't it kind of supposed to be ethereal, like not quite real? Like there's something kind of magical about the Black Pearl, or no?
Oh yeah, the whole ship is 100%.
It goes to an island where only those who have been to the island know where it is. It comes from hell itself.
I'm telling you, I want to see Noah in the one-man show.
Look at this little yarg. There be no place like home. It be too late to alter course. Oh, actually, boom, there you go. That's me as a pirate at a Hershey Bears game.
I think another one of my favorites is when she's like, I don't believe in ghost stories. And he's like, well, you better start believing because you're living in one. I was
too
like,
spooky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Too scary. Yeah. Oh, we also got this one here. I like when they.
I can see this movie really like being if you're a 10-year-old kid watching this movie, you're super into it.
Yeah,
probably why.
Or if you're 12.
Yeah, what does that mean, Ralph?
I mean, when you're 20-year-old kid watching this movie,
listen, I was 19 when I went to Disneyland, and I walked away with not only the rifle but the blunderbuss as well. So you don't have to be too young to get into it back in the day, there, buddy.
Are those from the Disney store, Brian?
Yeah, back in 1988 or 89, I've had these.
Oh, that's so cool. I used to have the medallion that she wears from the Disney store, and it's gone.
I used to have one too. I lost it too. Maybe they're together somewhere.
Maybe they're together on a magical pirate island.
They're in a chest being bled on by Orlando Bloom.
Oh.
Somebody collect them all so that you weren't cursed.
Yeah, right? There you go, Stan.
Yeah, don't look under my desk.
But yeah, so
yes.
Noah, another cool pirate fact. From where I grew up in Antigua, and John Finn was one of the most famous pirates that was hung in Antigua for stealing from Her Majesty, Queen
Crown.
Mary. Queen Mary. Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that. Guys, I just want to thank all of you for restoring my faith in pirates. Because I will say, after seeing this movie, like I distinctly, like my friends and I in the neighborhood, like we turned the treehouse into a pirate ship, and we were swinging and swashbuckling and having all sorts of imaginary adventures.
You should see my backyard.
Is it a pirate ship?
I've got pirate flags, and I've got big like rum buckets that are filled with fish. They're my little lagoon, and I've got a huge tiki bar. And
I was gonna say you're already like you're in Tortuga right now. You got the background for it.
Yeah. Big fan of the islands.
Nice.
Yeah, if you ever want to restore your faith in pirates, do you know who Pat Croce is? Anybody?
I know that name.
So
I love how the Irish people are like, yeah.
I'm gonna pretend
he,
to know.
He used to be the president of the Sixers. He's a big Philly icon guy. We did a book with him. Some of our fans might remember No Quarter that we had to cancel after one issue because of some issues we had. But Pat Croce is like the biggest collector of pirate paraphernalia, I think, in the world. Wow. So if you ever go to his house, which Joe and I went to, he has a wing of his huge home dedicated toward all the pirate
wow.
collected. And it's
do you not drink out of the big jug that has 3 X's on it, right?
I did. Was that not good?
Oh.
Yeah, so he's I mean, it was pretty intense. He's a very big.
Do you have any like gold pieces or
like
any?
Yeah, it's insane. Like he also has a museum in Fort Lauderdale or no, I'm sorry, somewhere down one of the Keys.
I was gonna ask because one of the biggest pirate wrecks was in the Keys. And
yeah, he has like a museum.
Millions of coins were lost off the coast of Florida. That was over for like at least 200 or 300 years after its wreckage.
If you go, I forget. It's somewhere. Maybe it's Key West.
That's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, that was an offshoot of what.
Yeah, growing up, Peter Pan was like by far my favorite film, and so everything in Peter Pan, I kind of just grew up being obsessed with.
And to this day, there are still millions and millions of dollars of gold doubloons scattered on the Caribbean floor. So there are always these kind of, salvage crews that try to go through the history books and log books and try to do, surface scanning and subsonic scanning of the sea floor to find these wrecks of these doubloons and all sorts of stuff. So it's still out there. The legacy of pirateering and privateering is out there, and tons of wrecks.
Let's get a ship. Let's do some exploration. Let's get some gold.
You know how expensive it is?
Us 7 on the seas going for pirate treasure. Just think about it.
I burst into flame. Like literally, I'd be as red as this if I went out on a boat.
Casey and Brian might have to be under the. We can't expect
You have translucent.
Casey, I saw you in San Diego. Okay. So that said,
Casey,
to the scores, okay?
Casey, it's a good thing. You're gonna look like you're 20 when you're 80. So it's a good
unless you keep getting in the sun.
Right.
That said, it's time for
our scores.
Yarg, the scores!
Zenescope chart, please, Casey. Zenescope.
Okay. So
Hoist up the chart, Casey!
I made a secret chart. So we have our regular charts.
Dead Casey's tell no tales.
Secret chart. Okay.
All right.
What makes
individuals?
secret?
Look at that 5.
I wonder what movie that is.
Look at that 1.
Aliens? Oh, Jesus, hard.
You guys made me say a 1. I would have given it a 2.
Nah.
Not a guilt. This is the secret chart. So,
whoa.
Right?
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, this is hard. Wait, let me, there's a lot of cross.
Oh my god, this is hilarious.
It's so funny.
Oh my god, Marilyn, you hated Total Recall. What?
I don't know why.
Son's the biggest hater on 2 movies. Wow.
But also,
I don't hate anything.
Brian
wait a minute. I want to see the rating again because of Total Recall. I'm like, I didn't hate Total Recall. I like Total Recall. So maybe I gave it the lowest score, but that doesn't mean I'm the
Casey.
biggest hater.
I know. I have to get the.
You might have given it the lowest score that day.
Yeah, that's what that means, is being the biggest hater.
She's like, I don't hate anything.
I thought I hated Resident Evil a lot, but Noah hated it more than me.
Sorry.
Yeah, he did. He gave it like
I
a.
really wanted to be the biggest hater of that fucking movie.
It was
Sorry,
part of it
Marilyn,
was
I know
all
you're
of the
right.
research, the fact that we'll save
That
another
movie was
episode.
that movie was dreadful.
Look what you've done with this secret chart. You've gotten everybody on.
I want to be the biggest
I'm
hater.
the biggest hater. I'm not the biggest hater.
Does anybody want to start with their score? I mean, I can
Boom,
go.
4. I love it.
Okay.
Whoa!
4. It's good. It was good. I liked it. It was good. It was no high stakes. You could watch it numerous times. Sit back, have a couple of drinks. It was all right. I was like, yeah. I wonder why I never watched this one. And to be honest with you, if someone put in a sequel or two, I wouldn't have been like, no, turn that crap off. So a film like that, I'm going to give it a 4.
So you're going to watch.
So will you watch the sequels now?
No, not for the show.
No, but no, for yourself.
No.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I had to rent
right
it.
now.
If you gave it a 4, you should be watching these sequels all week.
Yeah, but that $4 a pop rental? Fuck that.
Oh, Brian.
I'm only kidding.
Well,
I'm only
it's a big
kidding.
bucks. Come on.
I know you ran all 4. You ran all 5. That's a freaking $20 commitment.
Listen,
yeah, you gotta be a pirate, Brian.
yeah, I'm going to be a pirate. This is how I'm going to be a pirate. I'm going to go to someone's flea market or a yard sale and find all 5 of those things on DVD in some sort of box set.
You might be able to find it in a thrift store somewhere too.
Find it on the bay.
I don't know about that. I think I'm going to find my way to Amber Heard's house, and I'm sure there's going to be tons of copies in her trash.
Good point.
What? What?
Okay.
You think she's keeping these movies around? I don't think so.
Noah, quickly. 'Cause I know
Quickly.
you have a tendency to pontificate.
Yarg, Casey, quickly pull the charts back up.
Oh my God, Noah.
I was distracted by the prospect of a secret chart. All right, so I gave 4 for Total Recall, a 4.33.
Why are you
Aliens,
measuring it against your past scores?
because I
just
like
give
to
it
keep
your
things
score.
in proportion.
Take it down.
All right,
Take
4.
it down. Give it. Slap it out.
4.
4.
Woo.
Copying Brian, giving it a 4. I liked it. It's got laughs. It's got action. Not Alien, so I can't give it that 0.33. So
Not RoboCop.
there you go.
Good. Casey.
4.5.
Oh!
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, Yarmy.
I'm definitely getting biggest hater in this one. Casey. Do you have anything else to say?
No, I liked it. Everyone was hot in this movie.
Okay, Marilyn.
Good one.
She had a cigarette afterwards.
Everyone was hot. So 4.5.
You know your dad's watching, right?
Let's watch number 2.
Oh, I know.
It's off. Hey, she's honest. We told her to be more honest.
Everyone was
She's
hot.
doing it.
Gibbs is a bit of a looker.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Marilyn, you're up.
I'm gonna give it the same as my highest is at 4.5. I still, I mean, I love it. But I know there's movies out there that I was like, I'm just gonna probably love more. It's an enjoyable film. I love all the Pirates of the Caribbean. Maybe not all equally, but I do enjoy them all, and it's fun. It's just a fun ride. Now, could it maybe be tightened up a little bit more? Sure, but it's still a fun ride.
Fun ride is the key word.
Krystle?
I don't know if I want to give it a 4.5 or just a hard 5. And the reason I ask is, I say this is because, like, all right, would I rather watch Barbarella or Pirates? Like,
No,
depends
never
on
do
the
that.
Captain Barbarella.
I would watch that. Yep, I would watch that.
My God.
Yeah.
So
Pirates
4.75?
God, I wish I had a coin, but it's gone with Sons.
You can split the difference.
Yeah.
You could do thirds.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give this one a 4.75. It was not a perfect movie like Barbarella, but it was so good. Like I watched it with my Twitch family, and I was really excited through the whole time watching it. And I had, I watched it when it first came out. I watched a few of the sequels. I love the ride. It's got nostalgia. It just hits a lot of my favorite points in my brain that get me excited. So it's a really great film. Like Marilyn said, it's a great ride. So
okay, son, how you feeling?
Oh, for me, it's a hard 5 because it's just amazing.
Wow.
It's amazing. I love the whole entire franchise. I've watched it over and over.
I gotta watch these other ones.
Before this stream, I did not realize that it was for children, and that explains even more why I like it. Yeah, no, I just love it so much. It's awesome.
Also, I argue it's for everybody.
So I'm gonna be the biggest hater. I don't even hate it. I don't even hate it. It's fine. It was a good movie, but you guys are all up there. It's crazy. This is crazy.
Did you watch it late at night when you were about to go to bed?
I know. I mean, I've seen it twice. It was fine. It was fine. It's like a 3. It's like a 3 point. I could even go 3.5 maybe.
Just give it your
I don't know how you guys are going. Like 4.5 is like masterpiece.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say 3. I'm gonna give it a 3.25. It's fine. It's a good movie.
3 1/4.
It's a good movie. I will never watch it again. It's fine.
You'll never watch it again.
No, I mean, I'm half dead already. So I have other things to do.
Oh my
God.
God.
I'd watch the sequels though. I'd watch the sequels.
Krystle, have you ever cosplayed a pirate?
Yes, I have multiple times. I've done it many times for the Ren Fair, and a few years ago, San Diego Comic-Con. A couple of years in a row, we actually rented the pirate ship in San Diego. I can't remember what it's called right now.
Cool.
But yeah, it's the actual ship off, next to the warships, and everyone's gonna hate me for not remembering the name. And we've done a superheroes party for it. So that one I dressed up as Shazam, as if Shazam was a pirate. And then we also did a Game of Thrones mega party with I think almost 1,000 tickets we sold for that one. Wow. So that ship is really small from the outside, but it can hold a couple hundred people. So we had a line waiting so people had to leave or come in. So that one was really, really awesome. If you ever go to San Diego, I highly recommend you taking a tour.
We were there. We did see it.
Voodoo Ranger Beer had rented the whole ship weekend.
Yeah. It sucks when they rent them for the weekend. Those are assholes.
I'm sure your cosplay was higher than a 3.25. I'm sorry to disappoint you.
Damn pirate.
I do think 3.25 is also a decent score for a movie.
It is.
Yeah.
I just don't.
You don't have to defend the fact that you're the lowest score on the haters chart.
I'm
now.
going to be on the haters.
I was going to say it's going to be the biggest hater.
That's not even fair. I didn't hate it. It was good.
That's why it's a secret.
So I've calculated everybody's average score as well, individually. Ralph, your average score is a 2.88. So this is higher than your averages. So
I know I'm a hard grader. It's very hard to do a perfect movie.
At the end of every year, we should hand out little trophies, like the Hater Award and shit.
Totally, like the Office style.
Listen,
just like that big zero, the no symbol, just one of those,
we will do that maybe. We have a surprise for next month too. You guys wait till you see our surprise. Do we want to show the cover? Is it time for the cover?
Yes.
Do it.
Hopefully, Mark.
Yeah, me too. I haven't seen it.
Maybe I think Mark will send me the link. He is listening. Please, Mark.
Yeah.
We had a countdown.
Oh, you can tell I like this movie.
No countdown necessary.
That's right. Well, it's interesting because I posted Son's sketches of it. What? He's already got it.
I have people.
Ralph, we got a mole.
People.
Got a leak.
Ryan's on the.
Told you I like pirate movies. What do you want me to do? I actually did it. This is my sketch. No, I'm just kidding.
So if you go back, you'll see we used two different sketches here.
Yep. Yeah, I posted and said like, oh, which one's Son gonna use? And everyone's like, oh, it has to be the right, so we can have a Z-rated option, right? Nope, it's both.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's some Jack Sparrow.
This is now. This is hard because this is one of my favorite covers suddenly. So.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
I didn't love the movie. I liked the movie. Love the cover.
Ralph the hater.
Do you like which one do you like better? The rated one or the
let me look at it. Let me see again. I mean, I think I like the way the crossed gun and the sword cross.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
But,
I could see a movie with both of them.
I'm sure the Z-rated is going to be very well received. I don't think anybody's going to complain about the Z-rated version. So
I love the ship.
Get to your computer and go to order it. Let me see. Oh, I have the link. Here it is. Thank you, Mark.
How many of these do you guys print out?
All right. What's that?
Is there like a limit? I'm just curious.
Yeah, they're limited to the Z-rated is what, limited to 100?
Yep, and then 250 for the other.
250. And you guys if you subscribe, you can subscribe and get them every month.
You get the showcase every month.
What are they to cover? Like what story? Like what comic is inside?
That comic is a good question. I don't know which comic that is.
Alexa.
One of our whatever monthly book we put it on. I don't even know which one the monthly book.
It's a new series you guys were introducing. You told me it was called Ralph the Hater.
Ralph wrecks it again.
It's a super size one. Obviously.
Sad for us.
Lots of pages.
So next month, I think we're doing here's the problem. I'm traveling on the 21st. I'm going to try and be there. I think we're doing the 21st, unless we have to push it. We'll have to see. But as of now, September 21st, we're doing, what are we doing?
Fifth Element.
Fifth Element. Yeah. Ooh, look at all these layouts.
Lily.
I really like A.
You guys are in store for some really cool.
6?
I know.
I don't think I've ever seen 6 before.
Or
this
B1.
Is really going to be.
Oh, I see. A1.
It's just the outfit.
I see.
They couldn't choose which one they wanted.
Okay,
I like
these.
I love both of them.
B2. You wait. It's going to be special.
I feel like A1. I don't know.
So
A1
I have never seen this movie.
What?
What?
I never saw it. So
I've never seen
of all time.
so we'll
any
see how
of
that
the
goes.
movies on this list. Every movie we're watching this year is a first time for me.
Tasty.
All right, your dad's still watching.
You're so sheltered.
Sheltered.
I'm going to give you guys, before we sign off, I want to just name a few of the movies we're doing next year.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully Marilyn and Brian will rejoin us.
Noah.
The book that the Sun cover is printed on, I believe, is Robin Hood Island of Dr. Monroe.
I was going to say Robin Hood. Some of the movies we're doing next year, there's a theme to them. Kill Bill.
Whoa!
Fight Club.
Hey-o!
That's a hard 5.
Drive?
That's
Ryan Gosling Drive?
Drive.
Are you serious? That's a hard 5.
Speed.
Hard 5, yeah.
Hello, spoiler alert. No ratings. That's why people come to
you
watch.
guys can just give ratings now.
What was the last one? What was that last one?
Speed.
Oh.
Speed.
The precursor to the
maybe you've
monorail
heard
movie.
of Noah's. No, I already know what Noah's going to give this one. Maybe you heard of RoboCop.
7!
So those are just a few of the movies.
7!
Just a few of the movies we're doing next year. Very early announcement.
Yo, those are all solid hitters.
Son's like, oh man, I got some work to do.
Son, have you seen Fifth Element before?
Oh, like that's another one that I've seen like 100 times. I
Okay.
Yeah,
I think.
and I love the director too. So I just love everything he's ever done. So and he's French.
So, well, listen.
Did you direct the Mario and Luigi one as well?
He with I hope
There's so many similarities.
I'm
between
really
them.
worried about this movie. I don't know. I'm
Wait,
worried.
Fifth Element?
What?
Yeah, I'm worried it's gonna suck.
You just gotta
It's
go.
literally like one of the best films of all time.
I'm gonna watch
Yes.
it. I'm just worried.
I'll watch it. We should.
You guys are all gonna give it 5, and I'm gonna be like 2.2, and then you guys are
If
gonna.
you do, I'm done.
All right, listen. Gotta go.
So,
Anybody want to announce anything before we're leaving? Brian, Marilyn, I know you have something coming up soon. I don't know what it is, but
Just a little movie coming out. Yeah, folks, Clerks 3. Go to Clerks, the number 3.movie. Get your tickets for 13th through the 18th. It's actually been extended since that poster has been made. Also, the live events, the movie's going on tour, the Convenience Tour. The lovely myself, Marilyn Ghigliotti, Jeff Anderson, Jay Muse, Kevin Smith, Trevor Furman, and tons of other people in tons of cameo. We had our premiere last Wednesday. It was awesome. I can't wait for people. It was amazing. So
y'all look so good. By the way, I saw the pictures online.
Dave Franchini already booked his. I think you guys are screening it in Glenside.
I will be there.
And oh, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go down to that.
You guys, I mean, I would think Casey, Noah, and the gang should go over. I won't. When is it? Will I be home?
It's
September or something.
Yeah,
are you guys doing one?
It's at the Keswick Theater. That is September 7th at the Keswick Theater. I believe we will have some special guests coming down there.
You guys should go.
Yeah.
You guys coming to Austin? That would be nice if you do.
Texas?
Oh, I'm coming to Austin in 2 weeks.
Do you want to pay for my flight?
Right.
I'm just saying, are you screening it in Austin? What are you coming from into Austin?
I have a big tiki art show in Austin on the September 17th. So I will. I'll be selling my pirate wares. I did a whole bunch of pirate stuff. Yeah, you should. Or
you'll be in my city.
Yeah.
My new city.
I've been making like tiki headdresses all day, so my
wanted
living room just
one.
looks like a bomb.
Perfect.
And I'll be streaming on Twitch the rest of like the next 2 weeks, just like pumping out a ton of art for the show. So you can come hang out with me while you work.
There you go. Follow Krystle Starr X. Anybody else? Son, Marilyn, you good?
Well, I mean, it's obviously the film is coming out, and so short film that I directed, and one of the actors was the writer as well, and most of us produced, that got entered into the Smod Castle Film Festival, and it will be showing and screening in November, December. So at the Smod Castle Film Festival. So.
In Austin? In Austin? Where is this film festival? I'm just
Jersey.
It's in New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Atlantic
I've heard of this New Jersey.
I did get together with the girls today, and we were entering in some other festivals that were a little bit closer, drivable distance to us and stuff like that. But yeah, we're going to look into some more festivals and stuff like that. But yeah, it costs money. So I may do an Indiegogo just for that.
Do it.
You should. You should.
We'll support it. Our fans will support it.
You know, I'll repost
you. Guys, girls, it's been real. We have to sign off. We have a fantasy football draft that Casey is commissioner of.
It starts in 6 minutes.
We have to
have fun.
Note the commissioner hat.
I'm out. Noah's not interested.
Bye, y'all.
Love you all. We appreciate you all. We'll see you soon. See you next month.
Love.
Love.